Hi, this is Jill Peterson, and I decided this week that I wanted to test out if I could use the LCD display with the Arduino. So for the circuit, there's a lot of different wires. The circuit was definitely more complicated this week than the code. The code is a lot shorter than some of the projects that we've done before. On this LCD display, there are 16 pins that run in a row that just snap into the breadboard, and then each one has a different function, and so it's plugged into different places on the Arduino and on the breadboard. So it's plugged into ground using the VSS pin. It is plugged into the 5-volt pin on the Arduino in the VDD pin. There's a pin called VO, and that adjusts the contrast of the LCD, and so that one is plugged into the potentiometer. So the potentiometer knob, when I turn it, the display gets brighter or dimmer depending on which way I'm twisting the knob. There is a register pin called RS, and that's the one that controls the message that's being displayed. So that one's connected to pin 12. There's an enabling pin that causes the display to execute relevant instructions. So that's connected to pin 11. So that one's reading the code. And then there's pins D0 through D7. And in this case, I didn't use all of them. Those are the pins that read and write data. So I used pins D4 through D7, and they're all plugged into different pins on the Arduino. I used pins 3, 4, 5, and 7. And then pins A and K here at the end, those control the LED that's inside, that it works as a backlight for the display. And so pin A is connected to power, and pin K is connected to ground. Or do I have that backwards? Yeah, pin K is connected to ground, and pin A is what's giving it power. It's just connected to the power bus on the Arduino, and then I have both of those powered and grounded on the Arduino. So if let's look at the code here. So the code was really simple. It's just a few lines. So you just begin by initializing all the pins that you want to use and setting them up. You have to use liquid crystal, so that somehow uses the liquid crystal library in the IDE. I'm still not 100% sure what that means, but I put it in and it works, so we're gonna go with it. In void setup, you say, I think, what display you have. So this is 16 characters with 2 rows, and then you just type in your message here of what you want it to say, and then in the loop you set the cursor like wherever it's going to blink, and then there is there's a counter at the bottom that will count up after you plug it in. So let's watch all this work together, shall we? Okay. There we go. So it says hello world on the top and then a counter at the bottom. And I'm currently working on the challenge that I'm giving myself for this week, is trying to figure out if I can use both of these rows to display a message instead of having one row of words and one row using the counter. Anyway, that's all. Oh, let me show you the potentiometer, what it does. So it just turns it off. Like, it's still lit, but the words don't display. And there we go. Thanks.